We'll do it live. Fuck it.
If you want to see the current intellectual fencing of public debate, look no further than your Twitter feed. You'll see a debate for just about anything your mind can imagine. But there's a pattern you see in these arguments, and it's the use of science. People pull studies, reports, even quotes from doctors to push their points across. Don't agree with climate change? Vac mandates? Well, you must be incapable of understanding the facts. This debate of facts and science has now been applied to the CVID. You either conform or don't believe in science. And only idiots don't believe in science. You take the hard-to-miss health crisis of America, obesity, and a virus with a 99% survival rate, stack that on top of each other, and it's enough to cripple the infrastructure of the strongest country in the world. So how do we get to this point? A consensus. Science's biggest revenue driver since manipulated cigarette studies. Prior to everyone becoming an immunology expert, we all agreed that unhealthy lifestyle choices led to health risks and even death. But as we enter the third year of a pandemic, health is no longer an issue. And a V-card is the only way out. Your aunt, who thinks Trump is still president's favorite congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, stated that her CrossFit pull-ups could defeat the CVID. Since when the fuck are those pull-ups? CrossFit, the corporation, even put out a statement saying they do not agree with her. Yeah, a corporation with a racist and sexist history doesn't want to stand with a Republican. These are confusing times. While I believe roasting CrossFit is enough common ground for all of us to meet on and end our political differences, she unfortunately may have a point. In a pandemic that targets 96% of individuals with pre-existing risk factors, Queen QAnon may be onto something, and it isn't Trump's golf course. Now, with 78% of CVID hospitalizations suffering from obesity, and with public health officials pushing for lockdowns, shutting down parts, and deeming Burger King and McDonald's essential while fining gym owners, are we actually listening to the science? Now, I'm not asking for every government-appointed official to look like a fucking Gymshark influencer on SARMs, but it oddly makes sense in a country that has corporations persuading you to take the vac with free donuts and burger that our health officials look like Kevin from The Office in a wig. No disrespect to Kevin. The consensus now is we all must get a vac to stop the death count. You must wear a mask for others, and if you don't, you may overcrowd our already overcrowded healthcare system. And returning to society, well, you need to show some papers for that, please. Yes, you have to show more forms of documentation to go to a fucking Dodgers game than you do to vote. I guess racism is a public health issue. In no way is this meant to dissuade you from the vac. That'd be wildly irresponsible of me. Society has no issue saying Victoria's Secret is pushing an unhealthy body image, but we turn around and call this progressive, when the only progress being made is another statistic to the #1 cause of death in this country. We all agreed on an earlier consensus, but much like Fauci's early predictions, Darwin got it wrong. It's survival of the fattest.